Anyway, good morning everybody. Mike Kilbride is my name, and just want to say you're all very welcome to the North Inner City. It's a very proud place in its own right. I've been working in the North Inner City for the past 30 years, just up the road in the Connell schools, and in a sense it's a very transient place in that quite an awful lot of people come into the city to work and they all go home. And there's a certain community left in here living all the time, and I suppose for 20 years of my life I was like that. I was coming in, working and leaving it, and then I became a homeschool teacher, and I had the opportunity then to visit parents in their home, and it is a privilege to visit parents in their home and meet adults in their home, and to find out that they're as loving as and caring as they are anywhere else, and that they all love their children and want their children to do well. I suppose why I'm here because Alan asked me to come here, and I just want to go very briefly through what has happened. I would call it breaking the silence, because a number of years ago a lady called Aileen Foran, who was the founding member of the North Inner City Domestic Violence Working Together group, whose aim is to highlight domestic violence against women, and to do that by creating street art. And at the moment, they have a piece of art in Mountjoy Square itself. It's actually on the corner over beside Vincent de Paul House, or Osnam House, where the old public toilets used to be there, and that street art is there at the moment. But back in 2009 or thereabouts, Aileen asked me would she give her a hand. I met her one day at Vincent de Paul, and I kind of said pardon, and I asked her again what did she mean. And I was taken aback that I suppose it was an organisation still trying to stop violence against women, and I wasn't that much aware of it, to be honest with you. And I said to her, I said yes I will, but like a lot of people I said yes and I didn't do any more about it. And as you know yourself, the old saying, in order for evil to triumph, is that good people do nothing. And I suppose I was one of those good people doing nothing. But to be fair to Aileen, she was doing something. And over the years I would have seen her go around the North Inner City on her bicycle, and I would have said hello to her from time to time. But then it so happened that, being in inner city school, sometimes I bring some of the students down to the National Ploughing Championships. It seems a strange quirk that a person would be doing that, but on top of that, about 56% of my students are foreign nationals. So we can't do that every second or third year. But anyway, down the Ploughing Championships, I came across Alan, and he asked me to sign the white sheet, and I kind of asked him what it was about. And of course, I said I would, and I put on the white ribbon, and then Eileen's request came back to me to do something about this violence against women. And that was my opportunity to stand up and do something. So I took it on board, and I introduced it to the pupils in the school. We have assembly every morning for about 10 minutes, and I introduced it to each of the year groups. And I was amazed at how it took off. And I say it's a good idea because good ideas don't need too much support or pressure. If it's a good idea, it simply takes off. And that's what happened here, and particularly with the first years. And they wore the ribbon, they wrote some poems, they wrote some prose, they designed posters and read posters. Now some of the poems and the prose and some of the photographs, I sent them off to Alan, and I was kind of taken aback then. He typed them all out beautifully and put some photographs into them and put them into a little booklet form with a binder and sent them back to me. And I was absolutely delighted with that, because I wasn't expecting that at all. And of course, the pupils were even more delighted, and their teacher, Miss Dial in particular, she was even more delighted, and then I was able to send it home to their parents. So to me, it kind of legitimised the whole thing, and it concretised it into something. We had something physical now when I was there, and it was very, very effective. But I suppose during the whole thing was to make people aware that the violence was going on. And by doing what I did, it was making people aware that violence was going on, and that violence against women, I suppose I put down here, it was alive and well. You know, people were being made aware that violence against women was alive and well and living, and now was being brought to their attention, particularly with the pupils and the teachers wearing the white ribbon. And you can just imagine maybe a young fellow coming from a home where such violence had been going on, and if he was going to meet some of the adults in the school, or most of the adults in the school wearing the white ribbon, saying that they were against such a thing, that would give young people confidence kind of to speak up and say, you know, this is not right. So that happened. The other thing I suppose that happened, because I'm the homeschool teacher, we have a meeting every week, and I met 12 of the other homeschool teachers. I made them aware of the white ribbon movement, and quite a number of them did a similar thing in their own school and got the pupils to wear the white ribbon and that. So I was delighted that happened, because now we were making people aware, and if we want to break the silence, the first thing is you have to make people aware. So that's more or less what I wanted to say. I have 3 boys now that want to read their poems, and rather than me taking up all the time, I'm going to ask them to come up and read their poem for you. The first boy is Max Gomanuk, and he'll tell you about his poem and he'll read it for you. Would the other 2 come up as well, please?
Hello, my name is Max Gomanuk, and I'm here to talk about violence against women. I wrote this poem to visualise how violence against women is bad and how women might feel when they are beaten. The poem is called I Know. I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I did writing. I know how women might feel in the dark. Being denied an education must be like a big red mark. I know how women might feel if they lived every day in fear of a man. Men might feel like a bull, while women are like a helpless lamb. Women might scream for help, with nobody to help them out. Men like to get their own way, but women never get their say. I know that women are afraid of men putting up their fists. Men can punch, kick, and break women's wrists. A man is a growling dog, while a woman is a helpless kitten. By wearing the white ribbon, we can stop men trying to get their own way with their fists, kicking, punching, and breaking wrists. Me, you, and we can all help us.
We're going to have Leroy and Cameron. Leroy Martin wrote the poem, but Cameron Donegan is going to read it. So come on over here, lads. This is the author, Leroy, and this is
Good morning, my name is Cameron and this is Leroy Martin. The poem I will be presenting is Everybody Plays a Part in Life. Talking goes a long way to get your point across. Listening goes a long way to understanding each other. No need to use your fists when words can solve your problem. Harmony is the key to life. Anger and hurt makes you feel down, but this can fade away. Bruises and scars can stay for life in your head and never fade. So learn to talk and communicate. Everybody plays a part in life.
Just in relation to that poem, in that particular class, I think there was about 12 poems, and the class chose that particular poem because they thought it summarised everything about the white ribbon. And I think the main thing in it was about communication, that to be able to talk and to listen rather than using physical violence. Daniel now is going to read just a poem of his own. So it's quite long, so please pay attention. Thank you.
I heard this poem 1,000 times in my mind, every so often adding a line. I don't quite know where the story will go, I just feel my heart growing cold. Cold as ice on the darkest of nights, trying to walk through this maze of life. I was lost in a sea of sadness, so much pain in this world, it's madness. Struggling for a way out, but couldn't get the words into my mouth. Oh Lord, help us live a full life again. Help me bring this madness to an end. Oh Lord, help us be the best fathers we can be. Help us see the love that's right in front of us all. Oh Lord, help kill the demon within. Help let all fathers feel God's love again. Suddenly white lights around the doors. 2 angels came down to us all and tied together our broken hearts. We're a white ribbon that leads us all the way to heaven. Now look in our eyes, we're not afraid to die. We are one of a kind, our lights will always shine. That's the way God made us all. He has credited us in His image. He has so much to give. Everyone can have a little bit. Take as much as you need. Let God's love set you free. Violence is unacceptable, even though towards a man it's attemptable. If all you are is a big blatant bully, you are always in a hurry, you never say sorry. All you do is go out with your friends, and finally, all you do is make amends.
I just want to say thank you for your attention. The main reason why I suppose I went to the White Ribbon was it does make people aware that violence is going on, and in order to stop it, like Aileen Ford, it's important to stand up, and as Michael Kaufman said earlier, to say no and to say yes in the sense that we want to bring it to an end. And the White Ribbon, I think it'd be great, because a number of years ago I was over in Calcutta in India, and on the 12th of December there every year, all wear the red ribbon in the city to prevent the spread of AIDS. And it would be fantastic in Ireland if all our schools, particularly second level schools, for the 16 days were able to wear the white ribbon for the 16 days before Christmas to highlight the campaign against violence, because if it's got across to people when they're young, they'll grow up with it in their heart, and you know, you don't have to undo the damage then, they'll grow up with the right attitude. Thank you.